Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the 2022 City of Rancho Mirage Candidates Forum. I'm your CEO of the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce, Katie Stice, and funny enough, today is National Support Your Local Chamber of Commerce Day. I know. So we just want to thank all of our residents, members, sponsors, and partners for making us what I believe to be is the fastest growing chamber in the Coachella Valley. We have a great program for you tonight. We're so appreciative that you're all here. And with that, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd please stand. Ready, begin. At this time, I'd like to welcome today's moderator, Matt Johnson, owner of Johnson Commercial Real Estate, immediate past chair of the board, and chair of our advocacy committee. Matt Johnson.
Thank you, Katie, and welcome everyone. As Katie mentioned, my name is Matt Johnson. I am the president of Johnson Commercial Real Estate right here in Rancho Mirage. I'm also on the board of directors for the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce. Tonight, I am your Rancho Mirage City Council Forum moderator. We have 6 candidates for 3 seats. Their names are shown on the nameplates in front of them in alphabetical order, running from left to right. We have Kim Martos joining us via Zoom. Thank you, Kim. 4 pieces to tonight's forum. Number 1, each candidate tonight will get 90 seconds to give an opening statement. We've asked them to share why they feel they are qualified to be on the City Council. Then number 2, we have a set of questions prepared for the evening. Each candidate will get 60 seconds to answer those questions. We're going to rotate who starts the question first. First Ken, then Louisa, etc. Number 3, we have some yes/no questions to ask. Very quickly, do you agree with this, yes or no? And we'll see those answers. And then number 4, at the end, we will wrap up with a closing statement from each candidate. The evening will be aired from October 21st through Election Day in 2 places, RMTV in Rancho Mirage, which is Spectrum Channel 17, and on the Rancho Mirage Chamber YouTube channel. Candidates, Katie Stice is a very important person tonight. She is your timekeeper. She will give you a sign when you have 30 seconds to finish, and then when time is up, she will hold up the stop sign. Now please stop so that Katie doesn't have to cut off your microphone. All right, with that, let's begin. The introduction question to each of the candidates, again, in alphabetical order. We'll start here with Ken. Please introduce yourself, share your qualifications to be a Rancho Mirage City Council member, and the experiences you've had that support these qualifications.
Thank you. Good evening. As a longtime resident and visitor to the Coachella Valley and Rancho Mirage, my family and I have witnessed the growth of our valley over the last decades. It's an amazing growth, but we've also lived outside of this valley and seen growth both succeed and fail. I'm not a realtor, real estate developer, or even a short-term rental owner. I'm a resident. I plan to live in this city for the next 30 years of my life with my family and friends. I want to bring my experience and leadership to manage the growth and maintain and improve the quality of life that we've inherited from this beautiful city. Over the last 25 years, I've spent time working for the federal government as a data scientist and as a management consultant for the Department of Energy and the Department of Medicare and Medicaid Services, as well as Native American tribes. I've also worked for the Department of State Hospitals in California and the Department of Healthcare Services. I've also done work for counties of Orange and Riverside in many cities throughout the state. Prior to that, I worked as a government relations in the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce through public policy and working at USC. I was in economics and public policy. My focus is I live here just like you. I'm looking to maintain and expand the growth and the quality of our life of the city while maintaining our environmental integrity. Thank you.
My name is Louisa Davis.
Sorry.
No worries. My name is Louisa Davis, and I believe there are many big decisions in the next couple of years that Rancho Mirage is going to face. You can't hear me? Let me try this one. Okay. Do I get to start over? Yes. Thanks. Thank you. Or I could still have that 1 minute left. Thanks. Is this help?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. My name's Louisa Davis, and I believe that in the next couple of years, there's some big decisions that Rancho Mirage is going to face. I believe my skills and experience can serve the city well. I have been living in Rancho Mirage for 8 years, but our family, my husband and my 2 children, we've been vacationing in Rancho Mirage for 45. I believe I've been very fortunate in having a great career. I worked for NBC in Los Angeles and for Hallmark Cards. I owned my own business for 20 years, a manufacturing company, and my customers were Costco, Nordstrom, Starbucks. I basically sold to everybody until I sold the company 12 years ago. I opened 2 manufacturing facilities in 2 different countries having to deal with taxes, government regulations, and international trade. I managed over 900 employees, and currently I own a property management company in Rancho Mirage. Giving back is really important to me. I'm really excited if I'm elected to give back to the city of Rancho Mirage. I've served on 2 boards. I've volunteered extensively both in the schools my children attended and in local nonprofits. I'm a good problem solver, and I involve people using research and data and stakeholders before making major decisions. I will advocate for the residents of Rancho Mirage if elected. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
So is this mic working? I guess it is. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Chamber. And thank you to all of you for being here tonight. So after many years of running an equipment leasing company for a big bank, I retired. And over the past 20 years, my wife, Jerry, and I have operated a residential real estate team here in Rancho Mirage, employing about a dozen and doing business with up to 100 or more buyers and sellers of Rancho Mirage homes each year. So a fair amount of experience building and managing businesses, both large and small. But I think the part of the resume that's more important to all of you tonight is this. 2.5 years on the Rancho Mirage Planning Commission, and I now serve you on your city council. And I've done the kind of a job, by the way, I am the only candidate on the ballot that has that kind of city hall experience, and I'm the only sitting council member on the ballot tonight. And the kind of a job that I've been able to do on the Planning Commission at City Hall has earned me the endorsement of all of my colleagues on City Council. Ted Weil, Richard Kite, Ira Smotrich, Mayor Charlie Townsend all endorse me, and retired council member Dana Hobart endorses me. These are the people who have come before me and who have built our traditions of good government, good management, and a rock-solid financial condition. They believe that I'm the right person to help lead this city in the future, and I hope you do too. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Lynn Mallotto. I'd like to thank the Chamber for holding this forum tonight and for all of you spending your evening with us. I'm a 42-year resident here in the Coachella Valley, 30 of those years in Rancho Mirage, and yes, I'm a council candidate because I love this community. I have 18 years of municipal government experience, retiring from the city of Cathedral City in 2012. My municipal experience includes, I was the crime prevention specialist for the police department. I worked for code enforcement with the fire department, moved over to City Hall and did public relations, marketing, and special events with the redevelopment agency, and finally getting to retire after being the city's deputy city clerk. Since retiring from municipal government, I was appointed in 2015 by the late Supervisor John Benoit and reappointed by Supervisor Manny Perez as a trustee to the Palm Springs Cemetery District. Currently, I serve as the board's treasurer. I also have the pleasure of serving as the commissioner with the Rancho Mirage Speaker Series for the past several years, and I serve as the commission's chair. As you may realize, I have a penchant for public service, and it's my hope that I can continue that public service should you elect me to the City Council.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Katie, for putting this together in the chamber. I'm Meg Marker, running for City Council. The reason I'm running is because 2 of our council members have decided to retire. I love Rancho Mirage. This is my home. I've lived here for 30 years. I'm a mother. My children were born and raised here. They went to the public and the private schools here, and they're athletes. And I understand what the needs of families are. My husband and I started our businesses. I'm a business owner. We started our companies from scratch, and we've built them to become the largest broadcasting stations in the Coachella Valley. We understand what businesses' needs are. We work with them closely. We also understand the needs in the entertainment industry. I've also been very involved in our community over the years. I think it's very important to give back to a community that's given so much to me and my family. I've had the pleasure of being on many boards, such as the Bighorn Institute, and on the advisory board for the American Red Cross. I'm also one of the founding members for Eisenhower Circle of Stars Women in Charity, which brings life-saving equipment to the hospital. As well, I was on the Coachella Valley Board of Directors for the Radio Broadcasters Association and work closely with the county in bringing reverse 911 to our desert. I care very much about our community, and it would be an honor to serve on City Council for all of you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Martos, and I'm not there tonight. Unfortunately, I tested positive for COVID yesterday. My husband and I purchased there in Rancho Mirage in 2019, but we've been visiting Rancho Mirage for 20 years. We both work remotely so that we can spend time with my mother in Encinitas when we raised our 2 daughters. While living in Encinitas, I was very active in my community. I was on the PTA and served as president and secretary. I was also a Girl Scout leader and served on the board for 12 years. In my professional life, I worked in property management and real estate before starting my own bookkeeping business. This profession gives me the ability to travel, volunteer, and be on the Rancho Mirage City Council. I am qualified to be on the council because of both my personal and professional experiences. I have learned to work with groups, municipalities, residents, and nonprofits to get a plan of action created, approved, and then implemented. My bookkeeping experience will give me the ability to really look at how this city is making and spending their money. Transparency is my main objective to running for this position.
30 seconds.
I'd like to create a way for the residents of our city to participate more by developing a 2-way communication with the members of City Council and the different communities. Not everyone has the time, nor do they want to get up and speak at City Council meetings. This 2-way communication will give everybody the ability to be heard. I did this with Girl Scouts, and we saw an uptick in participation and volunteers. I'd also like to thank
Time.
you.
Thank you. Well, I think each and every one of you can agree we've got some fantastic candidates. Decision's going to be tough. Everyone here is well qualified. Now for the Chamber of Commerce questions. Mr. Ammann, I'll have you answer the first question, and then we'll rotate after that.
Thank you.
60 seconds for these questions, a little bit shorter than you just had. What are the 3 most pressing issues for Rancho Mirage over the next 2 years?
1, Cotino, we're building a lake in a desert in a drought when our farmers are going without. We were denied a vote on this. We're accountable for it, and we have to live with it. You're killing your lawn so a Canadian holding company can have a lake. From this point forward, we're accountable for it. As a city, we vote on it, even if it turns out the same. 2nd, sustainability. We need to very thoughtfully manage our growth. It's not going to rain anymore. Sustainability is a priority above all issues. Visualize your city in the next 30 years. Short-term rentals, we missed the boat on this. Jeopardy's on at 9. 10 o'clock is quiet time. Code enforcement is the way we solve this problem, and we sort it out and keep the bad actors out. Thank you.
Would you like the question again?
No,
Okay.
no, I think everybody knows the question.
All right.
Managing growth is the key issue. With the housing
A
crisis.
little closer with the microphone, please.
Managing growth is the key issue. With the housing crisis that we're facing in California and what the state has required from us, that is something that all of us need to be involved in. I think educating the residents is going to be critical. We all need to have a decision-making process where we can help decide where these developments are going to be. Broadband is number 2 for me. It is critical. It is something that we have to have better broadband to attract new business and support our existing residents. Also, as Ken said, sustainability, making sure we thoughtfully address this and we have the infrastructure within the city to support this. I thank you very much.
We're a population of about 18,000 now and will grow to about 25,000 or so at full build. We will always be a small city. Challenge number 1, manage strategic growth in a way that retains our small city character and our quality of life as we build for the future. And I hope you will forgive me, Ken, Louisa, and Martos, but that means no short-term rentals. Challenge number 2 is to assure economic vitality in Rancho Mirage by nurturing and expanding our strong city-to-business community relationships, while we also provide for affordable housing so that everyone on the economic spectrum has opportunities and so that our business community has access to future employees. And challenge number 3 is to continue doing that which is the single most important issue that any city council can face, which is public safety. As an example, at our last city council meeting, we increased our police force from 35 to 39, an increase of about 10%. We have a force that services the county of Riverside. Standard is about 1 police person per 1,000. We have 2 per 1,000. Thank you, Katie.
I prefer to look at the issues as opportunities for our city. Cotino, of course, is a major project that's underway, and oversight is paramount in keeping this project on track. Affordable housing, it's not just about the number of units, it's about the density, the infrastructure, transportation availability so that we can get those people to their businesses, their work, their schools. Number 3 is our business community. We need to support our business community with every proactive opportunity for success in growing that business, attracting new business, especially as we navigate inflation and recession.
Thank you. The 3 most pressing issues facing Rancho Mirage: Cotino, it's a great project, a unique development, and it has tremendous potential. It will require oversight with over 200,000 square feet of projected retail, entertainment, and restaurant space and hotels. Additionally, we have very little land left to develop. Point 2, we need to be strategic with the projects that we bring to Rancho Mirage in a thoughtful manner, but maintain our high quality of life. I'd like to keep our small town feel. And also, as our population grows, we need to make sure our revenue grows with it.
And Ms. Martos.
Hi, every city is required to develop a general plan for their city and update it every few years. Ours needs to be updated so that it incorporates the demands required by the state of California, development versus open space, and lastly, infrastructure. This infrastructure includes managing future traffic as well as incorporating adequate schools, police, and fire as our city grows with residents, visitors, and businesses. We also need to be creating a climate plan that monitors our impact on water and electricity, and how our general plan that I discussed will increase this impact as our city grows.
30 seconds.
Being proactive on both climate and infrastructure will ensure that our city continues to be a destination for homeowners, businesses, and visitors.
Thank you, candidates. Our second question, and we'll start with Ms. Davis first to answer that question. Some municipalities provide financial incentives for existing businesses, such as low interest rate loans, workforce training, facade enhancement grants, sales tax sharing, TOT sharing, etc. Will you support a variety of financial incentive for businesses? And if so, which ones and why?
I believe that I support.
Microphone.
Sorry. I support these financial incentives for businesses 100%. I think the city, we need to look at the city's goals and how these incentives can inspire businesses to do what we want. For example, in development, we could incent developers and investors through tax credits, permit fees, fast-tracking their building, I'm going blank, when they come out and assess a project, I think that is a big incentive to developers. For business owners, I think if we want, as a city, to make sure environmentally we're sound, we can incent the landlords, the owners of the properties, to give tax incentives which will benefit the businesses. Thank you.
Short answer, yes. Longer answer, we've always been willing to listen to requests from the business community. In fact, there are currently programs in place that are similar to those that your question raises. The city also engages in marketing support as well. For example, our marketing department, in conjunction with our hotels, develops promotional campaigns to help drive tourism business to our city. And here's a very important issue. During the pandemic, our city helped with food service businesses to help them survive, and we helped our seniors with meal deliveries by spending about $10 million of our reserves on programs that provided food for seniors and the health challenged. We did this at a time when our pandemic harmed our revenues and our revenues dropped significantly, but we did it because it was the right thing to do. So I support, and the city provides, financial support for our businesses, marketing services for our businesses, and services for our businesses and our citizens in times of trouble. Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely. I support any type of financial incentives that will help our businesses. And to echo what Steve was saying, the city has had a long-standing track record for businesses with a proven record. They will assist. There are programs in place. They've been very, very successful. I think the only thing I would change is if there are additional grants on a federal or state level that could enhance our business community. Let's go for it. And to build also on Steve's comment about what the city did during COVID, 375,000 meals were provided to seniors and those in need of meals, keeping 20 restaurants open and their employees employed.
I am pro-business, and I will support all of you and all business owners in Rancho Mirage. I want us to be the most business-friendly city in the desert. I will support any and all of the above on a case-by-case basis if it makes good financial sense. It's about working together. It's not a one-way street. It has to be good for both the city and the businesses. And I want to be perfectly clear, I'm pro-business.
Kim?
Hi, yes, I am for incentives when a city is financially able to provide. Luckily, our city is with a large surplus. This would be a great way to help out our businesses who barely made it through the pandemic, and also an opportunity for businesses that closed to try to get back on their feet. These opportunities should be available for all businesses of all sizes. Our city provided a loan for the Ferrari dealership to be developed, but I'd like to see these opportunities also for the small businesses, which are our lifeblood and provide character to our city.
Thank you. Great answers. Our third question, and I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm new at this.
It's really easy. No one's going to say I don't want to help businesses. I did research. On July 23rd, 2021, the Desert Sun had an article about a loan guarantee for Jessup Auto from Rancho Mirage. No one's going to say they're not for a business. and business incentives. For me, as long as we don't pick winners or losers, as long as it's community-wide and we're supporting our overall business community, I'm happy to support it. It's not about who you know, it's not about the friends you have. It's about building an overall business-friendly community that's sustainable, with a high quality of life, and I'll be honest, we know they're going to succeed here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now question 3? Okay. All right, our third question, and Steve, we'll start with you. Our member businesses and the residents have expressed concerns about crime. What will you do to reduce crime in Rancho Mirage?
Okay, so here's the issue. In Rancho Mirage, our violent crime stats, robbery, assault, murder, they're lower than average. But our property crime stats, such as burglary, it is higher than average. So here's the problem. In Rancho Mirage, our per capita income and our median home prices are much higher than the rest of the Coachella Valley. And it's also the case that we have a large group of second homes in our city. And so what we have are a lot of expensive homes filled with a lot of expensive stuff that are empty for a lot of the year. So what can we do about it? Well, first, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to change the fact that we are, in fact, a target-rich environment for burglars. But here's what we can do. We can, and we do, review our force status periodically, as we did at the last city council meeting when we increased our policing force from 35 to 39, 1 per 1,000 population, when the county average, 2 per 1,000 for us, when the county average is 1 per 1,000. And we can also field, thank you, Katie.
You just heard from Steve that the City Council heard the voices of the residents and the business owners here in this city. But that's only one part of it. And we're thrilled that the officer count is increasing. But really, this is a community effort. It can't be just law enforcement. It's law enforcement and the residents and the business owners coming together, communicating. It's the cues and clues. Often is the case, one of you holds the puzzle piece to solving a crime. And please talk amongst yourselves, get out there. Most importantly, call your law enforcement department, call the sheriff's department so they can pass the information on to the investigation department and build a history. That's how they solve crimes. Our sheriff's department is one of the best. And out here, as far as law enforcement agencies, they share information with other jurisdictions, they compare notes, they see what the trends are and how they can address it. My hats off to our sheriff's department.
I will be tough on crime. Speaking with our current administration, we have increased our officer staff by 4 to now, what is 39?
39.
Lighting could be addressed for businesses, but rest assured, whatever it takes to keep crime as low as possible, I will support that. Thank you.
All right, Kim?
Hi, yes, as Steve mentioned, at the last council meeting, they did increase the number of officers in our contract from 35 to 39. They also approved a motorcycle cop being added to our force as well, which that won't come for a little while. They say it takes time to hire, train, and procure the motorcycle. What I'd like to see is a committee to monitor our crime and the sheriff's contract. This would be a great way to be proactive. This is where the two-way communication that I suggested would be helpful. Businesses and residents can keep the council and the committee aware of issues and give their thoughts and ideas of ways we can help curb some of this property crime. Thank you.
Thank you. Ken?
I don't know anybody who's really soft on crime, at least I hope not in this city. I've done crime statistics for cities all over the state. Mathematically, we are very lucky. You have no idea how long other people wait. I've also learned doing data for other law enforcement agencies, they know what they're doing. Our mission is to listen to them. Technology will not help them do their job better. They know what they're doing. It'll help us understand how we can help them better. fire prevention goes on. We need to listen to them about crime prevention. Our support for them is not only budgetary, it's throughout the community and being nice. I haven't had a ticket in 7 years, but if I get one, I'll promise to be nice. But the most important thing is to realize they're here and they know what they're doing, and we need to listen to them. And the programs we have need to drive communication to us. Thank you.
We're very fortunate to have very low crime in this city. 43% of the operating budget, as I understand it, is for safety of our community. A key element in keeping crime low, I believe, is visibility of our sheriff's department and a community approach where both residents, businesses, as Meg has said, come together and we problem solve together. As we were discussing in the last question, here's a good example of a tax incentive to a small business. Incentivize them to be proactive in preventing crime for their own businesses, possibly installing security cameras with loud monitoring alarms, or putting lights around their building. There are many things that, as a business owner, you can do, and I am very supportive in helping them reduce crime and crime in the city. Thank you.
Now, question number 4, we'll start with Lynn.
Thank you.
How do you plan to address affordable housing needs?
Affordable housing is in a crisis mode on a national, state, and local level. Fortunately, the state has approved the City Council's presentation of the affordable housing overlays. It's one thing to identify the number of units, but it's about the density of those units that go on those allocated parcels of land. Secondly, we have to look and monitor the infrastructure needed, provided, as well as the amenities. Will there need to be a park if it's a family-oriented development? Transportation, how do those people get to their jobs? How do they get to the doctors? How do they, how do the kids get to school? Are those housing units within walking distance for schools? This will all affect also the commercial business and your other residential neighborhoods. So complete oversight needs to be prudent on this issue.
Affordable housing is a major problem across the whole valley. Rents and home prices continue to rise, and the average worker and resident continues to move further and further away. According to the city, over half a dozen parcels have been isolated. These parcels identified can build or have buildable up to 2,200 dwellings. Having said that, and knowing this is a very important issue, I will work closely with the council and the city to help develop on this property.
All right, Kim.
Hi. Developers and investors want to make the most money they can on their investments. To encourage them to want to build affordable housing, they need to be given financial and/or tax incentives. I think we need to create a committee to look at finding and creating incentives for developers to build multi-unit housing. And amongst that multi-unit housing, a percentage of those units could be considered affordable. This would not only address the affordable housing need, but also the long-term housing shortage and meet the state of California demand for the number of units that must be built in each city over the next 5 years. Thank you.
Ken?
We know the state is going to place demands on us for affordable housing. I'm going to be a little bit selfish right now, and I know each of us is a little bit. We don't like having things forced on us. We have a wonderful community. We need to maintain the sustainability of this community and the quality of life. The overriding principles is that the housing we build needs to fit into the community for us and for the people who are coming here. We're making a place for new people. There's a lot of policies and procedures, but the most important thing is to remember, and having been in a place where there wasn't affordable housing a long time ago, we need to make sure holistically we look how we will integrate and bring these new homes into our community, not just push them into a small corner where it fits, not down by the railroad tracks, but they are part of our community, access to groceries, access to services, access to transportation. Thoughtfully managed growth that is sustainable and brings a quality of life to them as well as us.
I can see this issue as being highly charged in this community. I think all residents and stakeholders need to come together and solve the problems of what could be problems, so everyone feels that the community, that we keep the fabric of our community, plus bring new residents here. Affordable housing, I believe there needs to be a task force put in place where residents, the city council, the employees, and the businesses come together to decide the parcels that the city has allocated. Are those the right places? Are they in the right place? And are there other issues? I think the infrastructure is critically important to providing quality of life, not only for those of us that live here, but those that are coming to live here. I personally believe if you work in Rancho Mirage, you should have the ability to live here. I will work very hard to help solve and execute this problem. Thank you.
So earlier this year, the city updated the housing element of our general plan. Now, part of the housing element is, in fact, a comprehensive approach to affordable housing, and I support the plan, which includes a distribution of development opportunities that have been identified and are spread throughout the city and not concentrated in a single area of the city as required by California law. It also includes a commitment to encourage developers to apply for and build up to about 2,200 affordable housing units, which is about 25% higher than the state mandated requirement of 1,741 units that are required over the next 8 years of the plan cycle. The city has identified parcels that can be developed as affordable, and while there are no applications filed on those parcels, it is the case that there is interest from developers. And the plan runs for an 8-year period, and I feel confident that we'll be able to reach our goals. Now, in addition to that, there are 4 senior affordable housing communities that are spread throughout the city, and so we do, in fact, have an approach to provide services and affordable housing for our seniors. Thank you.
Thank you. Our fifth question, we'll start, Meg, with you. Homelessness crisis in California impacts both residents and businesses. What will you do as a council member to proactively approach this issue?
Homelessness is a major problem, not just in the Valley, but in California. And we really need to take care of our most vulnerable people. Having said that, our city has been proactive in participating in CVAG's program, Housing First. And this program, the idea is to get homeless people into homes. I would strongly suggest continuing that program and working together with our neighboring cities in other ways to eradicate homelessness from the desert, and hopefully this could be an example for other cities in the state.
Kim?
Unfortunately, our state has not done a great job of being proactive in dealing with the homeless crisis. In some other cities, they are trying to make a difference by creating a division of the police department that catalogs the homeless in their city. They keep track of each person and tries to get them services, jobs, mental, and physical health care to eventually get them off the streets. This is just one idea and one approach. I'm not even sure if it's the right one for our city. But what I'd like to see is a committee created with people and businesses from our city to look at how the homeless crisis affects our community. that committee reach out to our residents and see how they're affected. This is where that two-way communication that I'd like to see happen between the residents, business, and councils and committees would benefit. Collaboration would be the key to creating a plan that could work for everyone.
I worked for the Department of Healthcare Services in Sacramento, California, that distributes $100 billion of healthcare spending through Medicaid, Medicare, dental programs, and all kinds of federal programs. We studied this. I'm going to say something controversial. Stop using the word homeless. It's mental health issues and substance abuse issues. These are people who need medical care just as likely as if you came across somebody who was in a car accident. Ask the sheriffs in the back who they deal with every day. They're not somebody just looking for an apartment. These are real issues. We will need to coordinate across the valley. We will need to work with our county. We will need to probably go to Sacramento and lobby. We will need to deal with substance abuse and mental health issues to get someone off the street and keep them there. That's why the problem is not getting better. The words may be uncomfortable, but the actions are more important. Thank you.
We're very fortunate here that we rarely see a homeless person in Rancho Mirage. But in California, it is everywhere. In my manufacturing business, I worked with the homeless for 10 years. People find themselves homeless for multiple reasons. Primarily, like Ken said, it's mental health issues or it's substance abuse issues. I believe that the city should take the Jimmy Buffett approach, which is find the best and support them. What I understand is our city is actually doing that. I want to help people in need, and I would support the city continuing to do this and maybe reaching out and doing more. Thank you.
So while homelessness is less of a problem for us in Rancho Mirage than it is for some desert cities, that does not mean that we shouldn't do our part. And so for us in Rancho Mirage, this is more of a commitment to help with a valley-wide issue. And we do that. And the way we do that is by participation in the Coachella Valley Association of Governments Homeless Committee. And our mayor, Charlie Townsend, is our representative on that committee. So the Rancho Mirage and the CVAG approach is called CV Housing First. And I support our participation and our contribution to that program. The program provides actual housing, a roof over their heads for homeless people who are willing to participate. In the first year of the program, Housing First served 401 clients, and more than 8 in 10 exited the program to permanent housing. This is far more than a soup kitchen and a bed for the night. This is a long-term commitment to elevate and improve lives.
To echo the comments that have been relayed here moments ago, it's startling to realize also yes, a majority of the homeless are mentally ill and there's drug addiction. But I'm startled by the numbers of families that are insecure, women that are homeless. In addition to Coachella Valley Housing First, we have 2 wonderful resources, the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission and Martha's Kitchen, that provide temporary housing, food, stability for the children that are involved, and also job retraining. Many of these people have lost their jobs, which could have transitioned into mental illness and drug addiction with that loss of a job, loss of income, loss of hopelessness, and they're taking these individuals and giving them a fresh start. As a city council person, I would love to help our citizens who are underserved and challenged.
Okay, and for our 6th and final question, we'll start with Kim Martos. What is your position on future developments of residential and business areas in the city while maintaining sustainable resources such as broadband, water, and electricity?
Each city is at a crossroads trying to find this balance. I am for development, but doing it responsibly. Other cities contract out these studies, and some bring this in-house by having a climate expert on staff. This is something our city should look into and see if it's worth having. They could provide an annual report as to the impact our city has on the planet, utilities, and infrastructure. This annual report could help residents understand where we stand at all times and help them to understand the general plan and how and why it has been developed.
Question number 6. Broadband's probably the easiest one. There's state and federal programs, and we can mandate connectivity even to Spectrum, and they can get low-income programs. I know I've used them when I was in college. I'm going to be really honest. The Salton Sea was a paradise 30 years ago. It's not now. Sustainability must always be the first and foremost. Water, water, water. I know we have to build houses, but good is not good enough when it comes to our water. We've seen what happens when we lose it. Electricity is about capacity. Renewables are actually not growing fast enough. It's unfortunate, they'll catch up. But believe me, we've all had flex alerts. I'm all for growth and development. I'm all for supporting the businesses. But the resources are finite. It only rained once last week, and it's probably not going to rain for another 6 months. We know that. We have to live in this desert and build wisely. Thank you.
Change is difficult, and I think that education is key and resident involvement in these issues. Broadband, I support absolutely 100%, and I think that, like Ken said, that is an something easier to solve. I support the city in all that they do. It's critical in attracting new businesses and new residents. I'm also in support of conservation of our resources, but I represent the business and the residents. If they feel differently, which I doubt they do, if they feel differently, that's my job as a city council member. What you believe is what I will represent, and your involvement is critical in this city. Sustainability is so important, and your voice can be heard. Thank you.
So I support high-quality, well-designed residential and business growth. As I made clear earlier, I also support our plan for affordable housing. And there's no reason why we can't have both high-quality, impactful developments like Cotino and Sensei at Porcupine Creek, while we also have a serious approach to affordable housing, and we do, in fact, have both. Now, on sustainable resources, we are the only city in the desert with a serious approach to low-cost energy delivery. The Rancho Mirage Energy Authority buys power in bulk and distributes to our residents at a lower cost than Southern California Edison. And next, we are the first city in the desert to offer a turf rebate program. The program is designed to encourage our businesses and our residents to change out grass turf to desert tolerant. The City Council at our last council meeting increased our commitment to this program to $2.5 million, which will result in 1.2 million acres being converted and a water savings of 70 million gallons annually, 3 times the use at the Crystal Lagoon. Thanks.
You took all my talking points, Steve. Steve brought up Cotino. I, like most of you residents, had concerns about the introduction of this beautiful project that's coming to our city, and that's going to be a wonderful addition. And of course, the first concern I had to be water. But what I learned is they're using a dual pipe system. Each residence will have 2 water meters, one for potable use, drinking, bathing, etc., and the other for irrigation. The second water meter is called the purple line, and that will feed into the Mid-Valley recycling system. Did you know that Cotino will have a water treatment plant on site? so that recycling water can be developed and used for that irrigation, therefore also reducing the water. These are the kind of water usage. These are the kind of projects that the city is looking at, taking very seriously, and moving forward in the future.
After Cotino, we'll have very little land left to build out on, and it's important to attract the right projects to Rancho Mirage. Our resources are in excellent shape right now, and our city's done a wonderful job with the turf rebate program, matching $2.5 million to the Coachella Valley Water District's $2.5 million in turf conversion. Cotino's going to have 2 major pipe systems, one purple pipe, which will be recycled water, and one for potable. Going forward, I'd like to see us continue the city's turf rebate program. The more residents that we can get to convert to desert landscaping, the more water that we'll have. And I'm personally also pro-solar. I have solar and I recommend it. However, I'm pro-choice for what the residents would like to do.
Thank you, all your candidates, for all of your thoughtful answers. We greatly appreciate that, and especially an insight into your thoughts for how to lead the city. Okay, next, third session is the rapid-fire yes-no questions. No debate, no answers, just a simple yes or no. Green is yes, red is no. And so with that, a couple of softballs and a couple of touchy ones. So we'll see how this goes. Number 1. If a developer proposes adding affordable housing units for a residential development in exchange for a zoning variance and tax abatement, tax credit subsidies, would you support it? Kim, did you hear that? Yes. There we go. Thank you. Number 2. Are you in support of limited short-term rentals in Rancho Mirage? Okay. Number 3, due to challenges stemming from the pandemic, the Children's Discovery Museum of the Desert closed. Will you advocate and support reopening efforts? Good. You can clap if you'd like. Are you in support of CV Link? Do you stand with the Indian tribes for safe, responsible, in-person gaming sports wagering, also known as yes on 26 and no on 27? Will you be an advocate for the COD Culinary and Hospitality Campus? Good. All right, now we will start over with our final stage, which is the closing statements, and we will go backwards, starting with Kim. Each candidate will give 90 seconds for their closing remarks.
Going through this process of applying to be on your city council, I have seen firsthand how corruption gets into a city. I have been inundated with PACs wanting me to align with them in return for money and endorsements. I chose not to seek any or receive any PAC endorsements or money towards my campaign. Therefore, I am not beholden to anyone going into this position at city council. I will work to create systems that keep our city leaders honest through term limits and checks and balances. I will also work to create more communication and transparency with the residents and business owners. I am for local control in our city, as our residents and businesses are educated and informed and really want what is best for our city. I look forward to working with and for the residents of our community. Thank you.
I know this community inside and out. I've lived in Rancho Mirage for 30 years. I've raised my children here. I know what the family's needs are and understand them. I built my businesses here from the ground up to be the largest broadcasting company in the desert. We work with businesses, we work with residents, we work in entertainment, we understand their needs. I've participated and sat on many boards and been involved with many charities, which is very important to give back to our community. I understand the needs all across the spectrum, from children to seniors to our hospital. I believe this makes me uniquely qualified to serve on Rancho Mirage's City Council, and it would be an honor. Thank you.
As a Rancho Mirage resident, I've been the beneficiary of measured and thoughtful decisions by the city councils of the past and the current city council. Those decisions are what has made Rancho Mirage the special community that it is. I've been coming here since I was a child, long before incorporation. Incorporation was 50 years ago. So, City Council is a nonpartisan board. It represents everyone. And the City Council is only as successful as the partnership that it has with its residents and its business owners. It comes down to this, and it comes down to stewardship. Stewardship for our fellow citizens, listening to their concerns. Stewardship for fiscal responsibility. Stewardship in responsible decisions that benefit all of our residents. Stewardship in providing quality neighborhoods, quality businesses, and quality of life. Stewardship in honoring our past, and for this, we will have a successful future. With my past municipal experience, my living here in Rancho Mirage, it would be my honor, and I feel it's my obligation to give back to the city. I thank you for your vote.
So I'm running because I believe in our traditions of good governance, good management, and strong fiscal responsibility. I'm running because I want to preserve and protect our beautiful small gem of a city as we grow and develop in the future. I'm running because I built a small business in this city. The people in this city supported us, did business with us, helped us grow and prosper. And as a result of that life and work experience, I feel a strong sense of civic pride and a strong sense of civic duty. I want to serve this community, and I want to fulfill that desire to serve. I'm running because I believe we have a serious need to guard the quiet enjoyment of our residential communities absent the impact of short-term rentals. I am not running because I'm a single-issue candidate who wants to overturn our short-term rental ordinance, and I am not running because I am part of a group that has filed a lawsuit against the city in an attempt to overturn that ban on short-term rentals. I'm running because my 4 city council candidates and the retired council member who I replaced support me and believe that I'm the right person to help lead this city into the future. I'm running because I believe in the answers that I delivered to these questions tonight, and I hope you do too. I'm Steve Downs. I'm running for city council, and I'm asking for your vote.
Being on the city council is not an easy job. You can't please everyone with how you vote. But I believe that there needs to be a process in which those of you who would like to have input into the decisions that the city council is making, you have that ability. That is something that I experienced in the short-term rental. Yes, I own short-term rentals. That is not my platform. My platform is for transparency of the city and involvement of the residents, a process where if something impacts you, it could be your house is right next to Catino, or it could have been in 4 days, the business that you had owning a short-term rental vanished without any communication or ability to talk to the city council after trying many times. Yes, I was a part of a group that did bring a lawsuit against the city. There are multiple other groups because of the lack of ability to meet and solve problems and offer solutions. I'm data-driven, like Ken. Ken is very data-driven too. With short-term rentals, there were 11 citations written in 1 year. There are probably 50,000 nights that guests were in short-term rentals. We couldn't address that with the city. I hope, and I would be honored to be a representative of you and your voice. Thank you.
Okay, we're almost done. I live here. This is my first time stepping up. Probably more nervous than you might imagine. I may disagree on Catino vehemently in the way it was decided, but we're neighbors. It's not about what I feel. It's about making our community better for all of us. It's about the will of the people. We're governed by consent. I'm stepping forward because I want to be here for the next 30 years, and I've seen how other cities have gone. And there's nowhere to fall back to, and I told my wife we're not moving to Texas. I'm going to be honest. We're going to argue. I may be a voice of dissent. But it's not about me. It's about you. It's about all of us. I'm standing up to lead because I can, because I have skills that we've talked about, and I've talked about the positions. I've talked about with passion the things that we've gone over tonight. My name is Ken Ammann. I'm standing up as your neighbor to help lead our city for the next 30 years, and I hope you'll get your support. Thank you.
Well, candidates, we certainly appreciate your time today, and we thank you for stepping up to lead this beautiful city of Rancho Mirage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the candidates another big round of applause. I'd also like to thank the library team for their assistance today and putting this together and providing this facility for us. And then thank you again to the Chamber of Commerce staff, Katie, ambassadors, everyone here that helped put this together. We have another 30 minutes left, and so the candidates are going to step down into the audience. We only had time for so many questions up here, and I know some of you have more questions. Please feel free to ask the candidates your questions in person, meet them, and share with them your thoughts. Thank you, everyone, and good night.